We just heard a familiar parable about the man who asked his two sons to go out to work in the vineyard. And both end up doing the opposite of what they told their father. One said he would go, and he did not. And the other said he would not go, and he ends up going. What is Jesus trying to tell us in this parable? He's trying to teach us that life is made up of choices. And the choices we make throughout our lives will define who we are as individuals. Today's first reading tells us that some choices bring life and some bring death. In fact, all three readings today center around personal choices and the consequences of those choices. I once heard a story about an old Native American who was teaching his grandson about life. He told his grandson, "A fight is going on inside of me. It is a fierce fight between two wolves. One wolf is evil. He is anger, envy, regret, greed, pride, selfishness, resentment, and deceit. The other wolf is good. He is compassionate. He is full of humility. He has patience, love, forgiveness, peace, generosity, kindness, and truth." He went on to say that this same fight is going on inside of you and inside of every other person. The grandson was wide-eyed with amazement. He thought for a moment and then asked, "Grandfather, which wolf will win?" The old Indian replied, "The one you feed." See, life is about choices. From our earliest years, our choices frame our future. I mentioned earlier that choices can bring life or death. Choosing evil can cause more kinds of loss than physical death. We've all been there, I'm sure. Like the death of a relationship because of selfishness or holding a grudge, perhaps because of pride or greed. Just look what is happening in our society because of addiction and immorality. How many have lost inner peace because of bitterness, jealousy, or anger? But goodness can lead to a fullness of life, both here and in the world to come. Goodness produces what we might refer to as the fruit of the Spirit. It produces love, joy, peace. It produces patience, kindness, generosity. It produces faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. In other words, it produces the opposite of evil. In today's reading, St. Paul tells us how to feed the good wolf. He tells us to have the same attitude that Jesus has. Christ was humble and selfless. He came as a servant to mankind. And even though he was God made flesh, he fully embraced his humanity. By embracing our own humanity and living each day as a gift from God, we become more holy, more like Jesus. If we are committed to following the teachings of sacred Scripture and the teachings of our Catholic faith, we need to use Jesus as our role model. Our actions need to match our words. We cannot profess one thing and do another. Words without action are useless. So the choice is ours to make. We chose, all of us here chose, to come here today to receive Jesus in word and in the sacrament of the Holy Eucharist. Professing and practicing our faith may help us determine which wolf we will feed.